When we think about kavanah for mitzvot, we typically think about having kavanah to do the particular act, or kavanah that what I'm doing now is fulfilling the mitzvah. The mitzvah sukkah may be a little different. If you look at the tour, the first tour in Hilchot Sukkah, he says, "B'Sukkot yeshu shivat yamim," quotes the pasuk, "Man yidu doratechem ki b'Sukkot oshavti b'nei Yisrael b'hotiotam me'eretz Mitzrayim," and then goes a whole long thing about what the purpose of the mitzvah is, and ends off by saying, later on he says, "V'Sukkot she'omer katuv shehoshivenu b'hem heim ananei hakavod shekifam b'hem lebal yakeh b'hem shra v'shemesh," etc. He says that the Sukkot that we sat in, they were ananei hakavod, and the reason that God surrounded us with ananei hakavod was to protect us from the elements in the midbar, between leaving Mitzrayim and entering Eretz Yisrael. It's very unusual, first of all, that he'd paskin in this machlokah between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Kiva, whether we sat in really Sukkot mamash, actual Sukkot, or we were protected by ananei hakavod. Be that as it may, it's certainly very unusual that the Torah would do this. The Bach, picking up on this, actually says here, and he paskins, that there's not stam. He says there's the reason we sit in sukkah is, again, for the remembering that God houses in ananei hakavod, and he says the kevan shekatuv lema'an yedu lo kiyem mitzvah ketikuna im lo yada kavanat mitzvat sukkah. In other words, because the pasuk says lema'an yedu dorotechem, you have not fulfilled the mitzvah tikuna in its proper form, unless you have in mind while you're sitting in the sukkah that you do this. Since I first learned about this 18 years ago, I've taken this so seriously that every night, every first night of Sukkot, when I make Kiddush, I make sure that my remind everyone, stop for a second, remind everyone why we're fulfilling the mitzvah of Sukkah, in order that we can think about this, that we're protected by God, by the ananei hakavod, or perhaps that He provided for us Sukkot mamash on the way traveling through the desert. By doing that, we can fulfill the mitzvah in the proper way. It could be a sheet that you don't fulfill it at all. But at least the Bach is saying you don't fulfill the mitzvah properly. I could throw out there that bonus question number one is, his methodology is, because you say laman, that any mitzvah that you say, that the Torah tells you to do something and then gives the reason as laman, this, I give you this mitzvah in order that this, that if you don't have that idea in mind when you fulfill the mitzvah, you don't fulfill the mitzvah properly. The Bach gives two examples. Bonus question number one, can you name the two other examples? Bonus question number two is, can you name the examples that he doesn't give? There are several other mitzvahs in the Torah that a reason is given for the mitzvah preceded by the word laman. Bach doesn't mention this. If you can name any of those other ones, that's bonus question number two. Bonus question number three is, can you tell me why the Bach doesn't mention those other ones? If you really figure that one out, please call me or email me. I'll just close with an idea that I think it's very cute that when you're a little kid that you make signs for your sukkah. This is a very nice one my kids made. I'll hang it up soon. This is not a very cute sign, but I think it's a really good idea that if you take a minute, and the purpose of sitting in a sukkah is to remember how Kadosh Baruch Hu protected us as we travel through the desert. If you have the opportunity, perhaps in addition to LED lights and whatever else you may have going on in your sukkah, you actually maybe put up also a sign that says what the reason is for doing the mitzvah as well. Or you can email me and I'll send you a PDF of mine. So I wish you guys all a Chag Kasher V'Sameach, have a wonderful Sukkot, and may we all be zocha to